Wsgw News Time 9:07.
How is your child doing in school this year? Do you feel they are not performing as well as they could? Did you know that this could be due to visual performance? At Associates in Eye Care, they help you determine if your child's vision is not performing. They don't just give your child glasses. They evaluate the entire visual and ocular system to detect, treat, and prevent visual disorders and ocular diseases. To make an appointment with Dr. Cox, Dr. Kazmarek, or Dr. Engel, call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
Steve Martin and Martin Short. You won't believe what they look like today. Live May 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
When Marty and I fly together, we save a lot of money because Marty fits convenient.
Tickets start at $62 and on sale Friday, 10 a.m. at the box offices or online at etix.com.
You look like Anderson Cooper flows to death on New Year's Eve.
Party and play with your two favorite amigos, Steve Martin and Martin Short. Friday, May 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
WSGW News Time 9:08. A bovine tuberculosis positive herd has been discovered in Oscoda County. The bovine TB was confirmed in a dairy herd located in Michigan's modified accredited zone, a four-county area including Alcona, Alpena, Montmorency, and Oscoda. The National Veterinary Services Laboratories disease in one of the animals from a herd on January 25th. According to state veterinarian Nora Wineland, additional testing will be done to ensure the remaining animals are healthy. If other infected animals are discovered, they will be removed. Bovine TB is a bacterial disease that can affect all mammals, including humans. The parents of accused Oxford High School shooter Ethan Crumbley in court for a hearing, and new information about what led up to the shootings is coming to light.
After 8 hours of testimony from 5 witnesses, the preliminary exam hearing for James and Jennifer Crumbley in district court was adjourned until the 24th of February. Submitted by the prosecutors was a voice message to Jennifer Crumbley on November 29th, the day before the shootings, from Oxford High School counselor Pam Fine, detailing a teacher's concern that Ethan Crumbley was searching online for ammunition while in the classroom.
We had a conversation. He was great. He's like, yep, I get it. So I just wanted to let you know that we did have that conversation with him, and about 5 minutes, and he went back to class.
The next day, the Crumbleys were called into a school meeting with their son and school officials before the shootings began. Another witness who works with Jennifer Crumbley says she told her she should have brought Ethan home. Each of involuntary manslaughter.
Nearly 100 sporting events and major meetings will be taking place in Detroit this year, including the first, which is scheduled for next month. MNN's Ryan Marshall reports.
The Motor City Casino Soundboard was the site of Visit Detroit's annual partnership meetings. It was a chance for the group to discuss upcoming events for the city. Had a chance to talk to Claude Molinari, Visit Detroit president and CEO, who was certainly excited about the NCAA Division I Men's Wrestling Championship coming to Little Caesars Arena next month, March 17th through the 19th.
NCAA Division I Wrestling Championships. The data hotel in the city was sold out, and the tickets went on sale in November. It's sold out in 3 days.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9/11. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSDW Weatherology forecast. Cloudy for today. Highs will top out near 37 degrees. Winds southwesterly 10 to 15 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Chance for snow showers developing. Lows drop to 26. Winds remain southwest 5 to 15. Higher gusts remain possible as well. Thursday, it remains mostly cloudy. Temperatures hold steady in the upper 20s to lower 30s. Winds west 5 to 15. And again, higher gusts are possible. And then Thursday night, still mostly cloudy and lows fall back to 21. This is meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW, coming to you from my Saginaw Spirit Home Studio, and our program brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call. Let her go to work for you at 989-295-7713, or visit her inside the Point at M46 and M47 in Saginaw Township, where you'll also find Cafe 476 and its delicious soups, foods, and beverages. Later on this morning, after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to talk about problem gambling with folks from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. At 11 o'clock on Focus this morning, the subject of Focus, friends, will be the outhouse races in Saginaw. You heard me right. But for the beginning of this hour this morning, and he's chuckling at me only because he's jealous Midland doesn't have one, we say good morning to the city manager of Midland, Brad Kaye. Brad, good morning.
Good morning, Art. And you're right. We do not have that one event here in Midland.
Hey, listen, we're open.
You know what? It sounds like a fun event. Certainly
it is.
A number of people come out.
I think this is the eighth time Pride has put it on anyway. So I guess we start out with a basic question. What's new in Midland?
Oh, well, you know, it's a little bit of a slower season. Obviously, through the winter, everybody kind of hibernates and a whole lot of people leave and go on their vacations. But we keep busy. Actually, one of our fun things, we've got, speaking of events, we've got a new one coming up that we're calling Winter Wonderland. And we're not above, I guess, stealing ideas from some of our neighbors either, because much like Frankenmuth, we're putting out 20 ice sculptures all throughout our downtown area and encouraging people to come out and stroll around downtown and patronize the businesses while they look at the new ice sculptures going up. So that starts up next weekend on the 18th. And in true Michigan fashion, it goes until the ice sculptures melt.
Yeah. I had the occasion, friends of ours and my wife and I were at Cafe Zinc, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago. And it always impresses me, the downtown cityscape, if you will, of downtown Midland. Any plans for the spring and summer? Are we going to see closed streets again, or what's the outlook?
Yeah, so for the last couple of years, we've closed a couple of blocks, and it started off as a reaction to COVID-19, of course, and really was the intention of getting people into an environment that would encourage them to patronize again our downtown businesses. So just last month, council took that up, looked at it again, and they've decided that they're going to extend that through 2025. So we've got the next 4 years, basically. That the same two blocks will be closed. We're going to heavily program those, encourage people to come out. Our Friday and Saturday evening music events will be part of that, which were really popular this last year. And we're hoping by giving some long-term commitment to this, that we'll also see some more of our retailers and storefronts and restaurants commit to some of the investments that they might make to really make it popular, and hopefully make it good for their businesses, which is ultimately the goal.
And there's enough parallel streets that you can get around that closure without much trouble.
Yeah, we face criticism on that, certainly, and some people are disadvantaged because they can't park directly in front of the stores that they would like to, and that they're used to during other times of the years, and we understand that. But at the same time, we have to look at the broader community initiatives and the purposes behind it, and so we think it's a good one. It's worked well for the last couple of years, and we're looking forward to it again for the next 4.
Now, is that an extended period of time? In other words, from the time the weather changes till the time the weather changes, so to speak?
Yeah, it's somewhere in that range. I can't quite recall the starting time, but it's somewhere around May, and it goes to October each of those seasons. So we've played with that a little bit over the last years. We had one, the first time was a little shorter. People complained because we had nice weather after we pulled it all out. So we extended it, and then they got to the point where we got a little bit cold, so the end of it wasn't quite as well used. So we went in the middle and decided sometime in October.
The restaurants downtown, they're doing well?
They are. We've had some changeover, though. We've had one of the buildings vacated out, which used to be the Oscars restaurant, and Diamond Jim's, which is a longtime tenant in downtown Midland, closed up at the end of January. They're looking to relocate to a different location, more on the periphery of the city. But we do have a new business owner coming in that's purchased that building and looking to open up a new building or a new restaurant in its place. So we're looking forward to our new addition. But at the same time, we've lost a longtime tenant, a longtime restaurant that was pretty popular. So it's good and bad news.
And there's always change in the restaurant business. How are they doing? Do you have a sense of how they're doing in terms of labor?
Labor's a challenge. So any of the owners that we've talked to, just like anyone else, are having a challenge finding people to come in to work the hours, to staff it. And as a result, we're seeing some changes in the hours that some of our businesses are open. So they're shortening them, they're compressing their hours just to maximize the staff that they do have. So continuing challenges like everyone else.
Yeah, couple that with the costs of food and everything else they have to pay. It's a tough business today.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd want to run it, but we certainly are appreciative of those that do, and we've got some really good restaurateurs here in town that we that we appreciate, and again, we like people to go out and patronize them so that we can keep them there.
I ask this every time just to get an update on things after the big flood from dam failures. Where is the city now, and how far along are you getting back to a whole, if you will?
Yeah, well, it's as I've said to you before, Art. This is a long-term process. Where council is right now is we are in the steps of considering ordinance standards to put into place, and this is largely to do with the footing drain disconnects, where people's footing drains connect into right now our sanitary sewer, which causes part of the problem. And we're looking at a program to disconnect those and reconnect them to the storm sewers. It's not always popular. It's not an easy thing for property owners and homeowners. And again, we recognize that, but it's a necessary step to make sure that the system functions not only now, but well into the future as well. So council, that'll be our next step in the next couple of meetings sometime, coming up with actual ordinance standards to encourage that program to move forward.
I guess I would have to ask the question, if I were a homeowner, who's paying for it?
Well, it's that's always part of the tough challenge. So the city has secured, I think it's about $48 million in state revolving fund, which is essentially a low-cost loan to the city. A portion of that will be covered by the general tax, or by the general users, I should say, of the system. So in other words, everybody. And then some of the money will be specifically put towards the homeowners that are impacted by this in two of our highest priority areas. And there'll be a commitment and a certain contribution up to, I think it's $7,500 is our current number, towards all of the work per homeowner that the cities from these funds will be paying to help the homeowner out. So our goal is to minimize the impact. Hopefully that they don't have any financial impact, but there will be some for some people, and we understand that too.
How about the condo or apartment complex down at the east end of the city where the floods hit? Is that open again?
Is that the city's
the
facility?
high rise? No, the high rise. I forgot what it's called now.
I'm trying to struggle which one was too. So Riverside Place is sort of the right in downtown facility, and that's our city-owned senior facility.
That was it.
That's okay. I'm glad I'm talking about the right one.
So am I, because I forgot.
But yeah, it's been open for quite some time, but it's not fully restored yet. We're finally getting to that point right now where we're just putting the finishing touches on. Things like cabinetry and vanities and so forth are the final finishing touches. All of these have been impacted too by trying to get the supplies. So it's been much slower than we would have hoped for. We've talked before, the process of getting approval through FEMA is a difficult and long one, so that certainly slowed us down and frustrated us at times, but we're through most of those, and we're hoping within, say, the next month or so that we'll have full restoration of those apartments. The good news is our kitchen facilities and the dining facilities that are in that building were on that lower floor too, and we've just reopened those, so I'm sure the residents are happy with that they can get back into the dining room and get some food service that's not coming out of either a food truck or remotely from some offsite location.
Yeah. And the other area, I know the farmers market has moved over to the Dow Diamond parking lot. How about that Tridge area and the farmers market location down there? What's with that?
Yeah, there's a few issues that we're looking at right now. The structure itself has some damage that's just been ongoing wear damage, and it's getting older, and so it needs some attention. But before we sort of put money into that and determine what the next life or the next evolution, I should say, of that is, we thought the best thing to do would be to take a look at the overall waterfront area around the Tridge and around the farmers market and really figure out what it should look like again long term. And so we are just initiating a basically a parks plan for that particular area, and that will specifically be looking at what does the farmers market look like, how does it function, does the structure change, and what might be the needs long term for the farmers market if it's going to stay there. So we're just kicking that off right now. That'll get us take us through the summer, I believe, and the hope would be to have things cleaned up and the farmers market in a position to be able to make a decision to move back probably next season.
Any indication that the farmers market would move back if it's restored?
Yeah, I think at this point in time, so I can't make the commitment because the farmers market is actually run by the Midland Business Alliance. It's not a city-run operation. It's just the structure happens to be city-owned. So in talking with Tony Thomas and the people that are over there at the Midland Business Alliance, their goal would be to move back down to the farmers market area as it previously existed. Understandably, what they don't want to do is move back in this summer, be there for a summer, and then we do something over the next summer. They have to move again, and so there's a lot of confusion then to the customers. And so we get that, and of course they're anxious for us to make some final decisions so that they know long term what their plans might be as well.
All right, Brad, hang on. We'll do one more segment here. We're talking to Brad Kaye. He's the city manager, the city of Midland. And we will be back with more after these notes.
Now is the perfect time to start thinking about what direction you want to go this summer. Let Kapoco Community Credit Union help you with a summer adventure loan. All roads, paths, and trails lead to fun with a new toy for the summer, like a dirt bike, maybe a new ATV, or even something the entire family can enjoy, like a camper. See a Kapoco Community Credit Union loan officer today and ask how they can help. Find out more at kapoco.org, member NCUA.
And now an important message. Critical new FDA study proves that non-contact thermometers are not accurate. They also have inaccurate information on their labels regarding accuracy. New COVID strains are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Switch to Exocrine because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exocrine. Learn more at exocrine.com.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive Viagra is available in generic form, which means you can treat ED for a fraction of the cost. And Hims makes it extra affordable. The generic form of Viagra has the same active ingredient, but is 90% cheaper. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/joy. That's right, free. Zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to medical providers online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. Then a certified pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to, and that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, /joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free online visit. forhims.com/joy.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
KFC and Taco Bell's parent company, Yum Brands, was selling a lot of tacos and chicken in the recent quarter. Its sales were stronger than expected. It has recently added a crispy chicken taco at Taco Bell, a Detroit-style pizza at Pizza Hut, and a plant-based nugget menu item at KFC. Drugstore chain CVS Health's quarter top forecast. It was helped COVID-19 tests and vaccinations because of the Omicron variant. Tesla is dealing with another recall. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says there could be a software error in the heat pump of some Tesla Model 3, X, and Y cars from the 20 to 22 model years. The company's recalling more than 26,000 of the cars and SUVs. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Biden's massive spending plan has expanded America's money supply and taken money out of your pocket. But you can fight back against runaway inflation by sheltering your 401k with gold through Birch Gold Group. This is Stephen K. Bannon, and I'm proud to be a customer of Birch Gold. Join me. Birch Gold has created a free info kit on protecting your retirement with gold in a tax-sheltered account. Just text the words SHELTER to 989898. Text SHELTER to 989898 and learn how to shelter your IRA or 401k with gold.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Susan, it's so together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GEAR for 20 or more cash back on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code GEAR to earn 25 cents a gallon or more on your first tank. That's code GEAR.
The Saginaw Spirit play here.
Chance here for the Spirit. Lead feed for Newhart. Coming in, Newhart. Across the Wokas, he scored!
The Saginaw Spirit will try to make it back-to-back wins when they host the London Knights this Wednesday night at the Dow Benz Center. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:50 p.m. on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. Hey, to visit SaginawSpirit.com for more information.
Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on WSGW.
And we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. We're talking to Brad Kaye, the city manager of the city of Midland. And Brad, if I said to you, well, I'm going to say to you, what's on the Brad Kaye wish list? If you could do anything right now for the city of Midland, what would be on top of the list?
Wow. That is an interesting question, Art. Right now, we're kind of frankly in the middle of the low key stuff that governments do. We're working on budgets. We're working on our road projects for the next year, trying not to create gridlock when we run all of those projects all over the city. That really annoys people. But I guess ultimately what we're really concerned about is the continued health of our businesses. COVID continues to be pressure on them. We talked a little bit about staffing issues for the restaurants, retail stores facing the same challenges, and people just aren't coming out in person to those businesses the same. So that's why we put a lot of time into the events that we do to encourage people, expose people to the businesses that we have, and we would hope that they would come out and enjoy themselves safely. And over time continue to patronize our local businesses so that they stay strong and healthy. Longer term, we've talked about infrastructure. That's not really the sexy stuff, but those are certainly important things as we move forward. And we've got a lot of projects that are important to us just to make sure that they're done and done right. And they for instance, our Buttles, everybody in our community knows about the infamous road diet on Buttle Street, which really was a road design project, not so much a road diet, but it always got mischaracterized that way. So we need to make sure that that's properly designed with MDOT so that the businesses along that work well, pedestrians can use the corridor, people driving through it can use it, and the trucks that unfortunately we have a business route running through our downtown can properly move through our community as well. So all told, those would all be wonderful things. And then the final thing is we need to get to issues such as well-being. And this is an initiative that's really a community-wide project that's been going on for probably 4 or 5 years now, about really looking at having people invest in being residents in the community and being participants in our community, and not just people that live here. And so how they function, how they integrate with the community, how they interact with each other is important to us. And we start that across the community, but we also do it internal at the city hall level and city staffing levels as well. So a lot of work, a lot of initiatives going on. And I guess if I could wish that they'd all go well.
You mentioned a word that a lot of communities that you shake their heads at: roads. Everything the state does seems to favor federal and state roads. Not a lot of money for the locals. How do you pay for your roads that are Midland city roads, streets, as opposed to the MDOT roads?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Certainly, you're right. There's differentiations in there. MDOT roads are funded one way, and certainly what we can do on our local roads is something entirely different. And we do get an allocation in the 2010 census. We jumped up to a metropolitan planning status, which gives us a certain funding for our local roads that comes through the Midland Area Transportation Study, or MPO. So there's some funding that comes that way, but largely we've been blessed. We have two, excuse me, we have two road millages in place. Every other year, they're renewed, they're 4-year millages, and the public has supported those. And those provide us with funds to help make sure that our local roads are maintained at a level that we're expected to locally. And without those, we'd be in a lot of trouble. And I know a lot of communities across the state don't have that, and they don't have that luxury. We've had that ability, and we've had that support publicly and locally to do that for probably 12 to 14 years now. So
is that the answer for a lot of these communities and townships and small towns, that they're going to have to go to their citizens to fix the roads?
Yeah, it's one option, and it certainly has worked for us over time, and it's certainly something that we'll probably need to continue to do forward. Large range, long term, really what it should be at a state level is there should be a revised local revenue sharing program in place at the state level that more fairly allocates funds from the state level down to local governments, including townships, cities, villages. And that's not always been administered as in terms of cities and villages. At least we don't think it's been administered the way it's supposed to have been, and certainly not in a manner that allows us to do what we need to do at the local level where we most directly impact the residents.
Well, I know the Michigan Association of Counties, it's one of their priorities to try and get revenue sharing back to a fair level.
Yeah, absolutely is. So at the city level, we associate more with the Michigan Municipal League, but certainly the counties and the townships associations and the MML, the Michigan Municipal League, are all looking at it from the same perspective. And I think they're all pretty well in lockstep that the revenue sharing as it's being administered isn't fair, I guess is a word that could be used, but it's certainly not as was intended. And we think it needs to be fixed. And until it's fixed, it's going to continue to present local financial challenges to all local levels of government.
Yeah. Well, listen, Brad, it's always a pleasure. We appreciate your time, and we'll chat with you down the road again.
All right. I appreciate it, Art. And we'll talk to you in a couple of months.
All right. Have a great day.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye now. Brad Kaye is the city manager of the city of Midland. We thank him for his time this morning, and we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour. Let me take a moment to talk about my friends at the Thalen Auto Group, and I've been representing them for many, many, many years now. And you've heard me talk about their outstanding lineup of new vehicles, which include Audi, Volkswagen, Subaru, Mazda, Honda, Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. But remember this, that not only do they sell a whole bevy of new vehicles, but they have a tremendous pre-owned lot, more than one, all side by side right there on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City with hundreds of vehicles. Probably the largest selection in one place in the Great Lakes Bay region. And you can stop in and shop for fully inspected used vehicles. And, you know, not only that, they have certified vehicles for all of the marks that they sell. Don't spend days going from dealership to dealership, running around looking for that right vehicle. You can go to one place, Thalen Auto Group on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Look over their selection. If you want to do it from home, go to thinkthalen.com. Look over their inventory, inspected vehicles brought up to their standards, and you'll be glad you shopped with the Thalen family. They've been serving your automotive needs for about 45 years now. We will be back with more, and don't forget, open phones are available for you here on the Art Lewis Show.
Hi, this is Jessica, and at United Financial Credit Union, we want to help you save money on your monthly payments. Right now, you can take advantage of our debt consolidation loan and combine those high-rate loans into one low-rate monthly payment. This year, focus on you. We're here to help you improve your financial health with our debt consolidation loans, free financial counseling, credit rebuilding options, and so much more. Call, click, or stop in to transfer your high-rate loans to our debt consolidation loan today. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to open an account. It's time for you to check out your local friendly credit union and see how we will put you first.
Some restrictions may apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA. Equal housing lender. We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union, serving the Valley community.
Grab your silk top hat and your best flapper dress and foxtrot the night away with the Disability Network of Mid-Michigan at Feathers and Fedoras, a Roaring 20s gala benefiting independent living programs for people with disabilities. Saturday, February 12th. Enjoy delicious food, dance to the music by Stone Street Revival, find Lady Luck at the casino, hit a speakeasy for Giggle Waters. Tickets are $50 per person. RSVP at www.dnmm.org/FAF. Feathers and Fedoras, Saturday, February 12th at Horizons Conference Center in Saginaw.
How is your child doing in school this year? Do you feel they are not performing as well as they could? Did you know that this could be due to visual performance? At Associates in Eye Care, they help you determine if your child's vision is not performing as well as it could. They don't just give your child glasses. They evaluate the entire visual and ocular system to detect, treat, and prevent visual disorders and ocular with Dr. Cox, Dr. Kazmarek, or Dr. Engel. Call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
This is the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW, and open phones for you, 989-752-6111 is the number to call. I had a press release dropped in my email yesterday from Senator Peters. He chairs the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee in the Senate. But this was a press release in which he applauded the House passage of bipartisan postal reform legislation. And boy, we've been waiting to hear this. And it passed the House in bipartisan fashion, and there is bipartisan support for it in the Senate. I'm going to read from the release just to tell you what it does, because most of these things people have said should be done and have said it for a long time. The Postal Service Reform Act would provide key financial and operational reforms to the Postal Service. The bill would eliminate the onerous pre-funding requirement that's hurt the postal system financially and integrate postal retirees' health care with Medicare. That has been a huge issue over the years because they were treated differently than everyone else. And it made it darn near impossible for them to balance a budget. And together, these two reforms would create more than $49 billion in savings for the Postal Service over the next 10 years. In addition, this is the interesting part, the bill would require the Postal Service to maintain its standard of delivering at least 6 days a week. The legislation would improve transparency of Postal Service operations to both customers and Congress by requiring publication of easily accessible local weekly service data on the Postal Service website, as well as regular and detailed reporting to Congress on Postal Service finances and operations. The bill also includes additional provisions for Postal Service effectiveness, accountability, and growth. And it's going to be interesting if this passes to see what the reaction is from the the Postal Service, to say the least. Jim is in Vassar. Jim, good morning to you. Welcome.
Yeah, Art, I got a question for you. It's about, you had a guy talk about the roads and stuff.
Yes.
And I don't get down to Saginaw very often, but I was wondering, headed west on M46 into Saginaw.
Okay.
Okay, you pass GM and that. And there used to be a first turnoff there before you got involved in those circle deals, where you could turn right off and you'd be on 675, which ran alongside of I-75 and took you right up to 675 over the top, you know. And
well, you can still do that. If you're coming in from the east and you're going west, and
right.
you get the overpass where they've built now the roundabouts.
Yeah,
if
I
you
don't
stay,
get too
well,
handy with those things.
if you stay in the right lane,
yeah.
If you stay in the right lane, that will. If you stay in the right lane, that will take you to the ramp to northbound 75, 675. Stay in the right lane on 675 because that's a dedicated lane to 675.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed.
Right. It was barricaded up the last time, and I got into that circle thing, and then I got off, headed south, you know, and I got on one that I thought was 675, and I ended up, that was barricaded, and I had to drive all the way back to Bridgeport and up through Saginaw.
Well, the easiest way to do it, if you find that again, if you were to get to that roundabout and the northbound 75 ramp was closed, just stay on 46 and you'll come to M13, which is Washington. You turn right and takes you right downtown Saginaw.
Yeah,
it's the easiest way.
But you're saying that first turnoff that's dedicated 675 along the right side of 75.
Right, exactly. That lane is still there.
It's open now.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. Thanks very much for your time, Mark.
Sure, you bet. All righty. Bye-bye now. And let's see what we got for time here. We got to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get to Chris in Midland when we return here on WSGW.
For over 45 years, Fast Eddie's Car Wash and Oil Changes has been a part of your community. We want to acknowledge our nurses, doctors, law enforcement, firefighters, and so many more men and women who are first responders. Stop into any of our Fast Eddies and get a first responder discount any day of the week. Get $15 off a full-service oil change and $15 off your next service. And every Friday, everybody gets $2 off our premium washes. A small gesture to the loyal customers. Fast Eddie's also knows finding and buying a new vehicle is hard right now, and it's essential to take care of the vehicle you have. Our trained technicians use top quality products that will protect your engine against wear and keep it running at its best. A car wash from Fast Eddie's uses twice the foam, twice the wax to help remove salt and keep your vehicle clean this winter. We take pride at Fast Eddie's by meeting all your vehicle's needs, both inside and out. As a family-owned business, we have 16 locations across Michigan, and we take pride in our product and customer service. Fast Eddie's, your one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs.
A lot goes into keeping a precision operation moving. The inputs you choose have to deliver. Valaro Complete Fungicide from Bayer offers unmatched consistency and the most complete disease control available. Your corn and soybeans are protected and yields higher even in unpredictable conditions. With Valaro Complete, you get results you can count on to help keep your precision operation running smoothly. Always read and follow label instructions. To learn more, visit delarocomplete.us today.
Meet FarmOp Capital, the lender who believes in your potential. Saying yes more often than they say no, FarmOp Capital offers unique terms based on your proven ability to produce instead of how much land you own. Whether you're a farmer who rents, a farmer who's looking to expand, or a farm in transition, they can help you explore all the possibilities for the future of your business. Get started at farmopcapital.com today.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
When you fill your prescriptions at Walgreens, you can track the progress of your order in real time. Know the price of your prescriptions before you go to pick them up And anytime you have questions, use Pharmacy Chat to ask an expert 24 hours a day. Help with your meds from Walgreens. Side effects may easier because your prescription stress melted away. Learn more on the Walgreens app.
This price isn't final. This is an estimated price based on your insurance coverage.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Art Lewis, did you do any pay-per-view event this weekend?
No.
No, then you didn't do this. Okay. Dave, Pat, you didn't. Okay.
No.
So you weren't paying to see the first ever PFC event.
PFC event.
The Pillow Fight Championship.
Oh.
For the first time ever, Steve Williams, who is the man that had a dream of turning childhood horseplay into a professional combat sport. I kid you not. There was both women's division.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That is. No, it is. I remember having pillow fights in gym class. I bet you can't even do pillow fights in grade school anymore.
Can't do dodgeball. Can you do pillow fights?
Probably not.
Again, probably got lost with the football coverage.
Yeah. I was watching paint dry.
You better watch out. Some pillow fighter's going to come up and teach you a lesson.
Where I'm from, if we had pillow fights, we'd probably put rocks in the pillows.
You New Yorkers.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and Chris is in Midland. Chris, good morning to you.
Hi. The news release you talked about from Gary Peters.
Yep.
Does that still has to go to the House?
No, it passed the House. It has to go to the Senate.
Oh, okay. But Peters was talking about. I guess I'm confused.
Okay, what he did was he applauded the House passage of the legislation. And then also indicated that there's bipartisan support for the same thing in the Senate. So more than likely, this is going to pass.
Okay, good, because that's been the knife in the back of the Postal service.
Oh, yes.
For, I don't know how long, decades?
Yep, you're talking about the pre-funding, absolutely.
Yes. You hit it on the head. There is no corporation, entity, business that is forced to prepay into their retirements. There are some that do voluntarily, but not very many at all because it takes away from operating capital.
Yeah.
And I hope this goes through in the House then. Oh, my God.
Well, it's through the House. It's got to go through the Senate now.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Once it goes through and if it's the same bill, in other words, if the language in the Senate mirrors the language in the House, it won't have to go to conference. It'll just go to the president for signature. If there are changes in the Senate version, it would have to go back for conference, but chances are it would pass. Right. So I think this is going to make it. It looks like it's going to make it anyway, especially since Peter says they've got bipartisan support in the Senate already.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Well, you're welcome, Chris. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now. And let's talk to Sally in Midland. Sally, good morning to you.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, we're doing well. Hope you are.
Yeah, I am. I am calling about electric cars, and I really hope the companies that are making them look at the safety issue as far as getting out of the car if the battery dies.
Doing what? Getting out?
Getting out of the car.
If the battery dies. I got you.
Right.
In other words, if the doors are locked and the battery dies, how do you get out? Okay.
And I'm speaking from experience because a few years ago, I was at the Northwoods Auto Show, and for a short time, Cadillac EL or something that was all electric. And while I was sitting in the driver's seat with all the doors closed, the battery died. And the only way I could get out was crawling over the console in the front, into the back seat, dropping that portion that allowed you to crawl in the trunk. And fortunately, my husband had a flashlight on his cell phone, so I found the handle to release the trunk, which was black in this dark trunk. That did not release that. It released something, and then I had to find another orange knob or handle to pop
Yeah,
open.
there should be some kind of mechanical release that they should build in. That's a very interesting point.
Yes.
I would make a suggestion to you. I'd sit down and either write a letter or send an email to maybe General Motors or Ford. I would start with General Motors since you were in a Cadillac when you did it, and tell them of your experience and see what they say. Sometimes it only takes one person to point something out that nobody else thought of.
Now, back when it happened, I did that for a few months of correspondence, written and phone, and I never heard anything final. But it's been a few years, and more cars, you're right, are going to be electric than Cadillacs. So,
Almost every manufacturer is going to have them.
Right, that's right.
That's interesting. I drove a couple of cars from Thalen a while back. I drove an Audi e-tron and I drove the Volkswagen ID4. And I love driving them, but that never ever occurred to me what would happen if the battery dies. I'd never even thought of it.
Well, you stop and think if you get in a dark garage and you have enough battery to get in the car, but then you close it and, after that, nothing. So the little old lady who can't crawl out of a seat, you don't even have to be little and old, you just have to short.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, you have to be able to physically do what you did.
Absolutely.
So I hear you. That's interesting. And it would seem to me that it wouldn't take too much to put in just a mechanical lift of some kind. They've gotten rid of, how cars used to have the little plunger that unlocked the door on the door. And they've gotten rid of those. They've done it for a couple of reasons. One of them was theft prevention and who knows what else. But somewhere on that door, there should be some kind of mechanical release that allows you to open that door. It's a great idea. Great idea.
So, okay.
Hey,
Thank you
listen,
very much.
Sally, thanks. Interesting. Bye-bye now.
Bye now.
That's interesting. And I'll tell you why it caught me a little by surprise, because I wouldn't have thought of that. Because I've often thought about, if I had an electric vehicle, and I've always said, I want longer battery life. I want much more mileage than the 250, 300 they're offering right now. I want to be able to be guaranteed to go to Detroit and back without having to charge it if I don't have to. So I'm looking for, maybe 400 miles that gives me a cushion. And I often wonder, well, gee, what happens if it dies on the highway? It slows down. What do you do? Never in my wildest dreams did I think, how are you going to unlock the door? That's so interesting. She thought of that. What else fascinates me, though, is she got in the car at the Northwood Auto Show and closed the door, and it locked. Now, the car wasn't running. She wasn't going anywhere, I assume. But while she was in there, the battery had no charge left on it, and it died, and she couldn't get out. Where were the students? They put it on. You would think somebody would be there in the Cadillac display. Wow. Little things like that you don't think of until all of a sudden you're faced with it. And then you go, oops, what do I do now that I'm stuck here behind the wheel of this car with a dead battery? I wonder if the auto manufacturers are going to have to put in a second small battery, no bigger than what we have in our cars today, not to drive the car, but as an emergency reserve if the main batteries go. I wonder if that's a feasible solution. And when you charge your main battery up, it puts a trickle charge on that reserve battery, so it's always charged up. That way, if your main died, at least you have a way of getting out of the car. Maybe having just enough juice to pull off the road. Things of that nature. All right, we'll take our last break this hour and tell you what's coming up next here on WSGW.
ServiceMaster by Fuson, your fire, water, and storm damage restoration.
Frozen pipes are one of the most common reasons for pipes bursting in the winter. Reduce your risk of pipes freezing and bursting by letting water drip from faucets. Consider insulating your pipes, secure outdoor hoses, valves, and faucets, and open cabinet doors under sinks near exterior walls. For more information, visit ServiceMasterByFusen.com or call them at 989-200-4929. ServiceMaster by Fusen, restoring peace of mind.
I need postcards printed and designed. Oh, and a targeted direct mail campaign.
It's possible at Staples. I need my presentation printed, bound, and perfect. Also possible with Staples Print Big Promise. Your small business marketing will make a big impact. And right now, get 20% off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 2/26. Visit staples.com/signage for details.
Why does Walgreens offer copays as low as $0 refills? Because we care about Medicare, so you don't have to. I mean, do you really care to hear me go on about same-day prescription delivery making your life easier? Or how there's a pharmacy expert available 24/7 and one-click refills? Well, I just did anyways. Fill your Medicare prescriptions with Walgreens and save.
$0 copays apply to Tier 1 generic drugs and select plans with Walgreens as a preferred pharmacy. Restrictions apply. See walgreens.com/Medicare for complete details.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. So good, you gotta try it. With Straight Talk, you can get our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month. Now with unlimited high-speed data, plus 5 gigabytes hotspot data, and no contract, with nationwide 5G on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot for your data when you can get unlimited for a whole lot less? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
This Sunday, it's Super Bowl 56, and you can hear complete coverage radio Wsgw. Former Detroit Lion Matthew Stafford leads the NFC champion Los Angeles Rams against the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. Pre-game coverage begins Sunday at 2 p.m. with kickoff at 6:30 and is sponsored by Wolf Isles, Ace Hardware in Saginaw, Schaefer and Beer Line in Frankenmuth, and Lingle Equipment Company in Saginaw. It's Super Bowl 56 live this Sunday at 2 p.m. on 790 News Radio Wsgw.
Out of my mouth to your ears, a caller called and said new electric Mustang has an extra battery for door locks and OnStar communication. Bravo! Coming up, we have the news from CBS and the local report. Then we're going to talk about problem gambling with some special guests. All of that is ahead after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is scheduled to speak in an hour from now and announce the state's indoor mask mandate will be lifted at the end of the month. A senior state official says it will only happen, though, if COVID cases keep falling. And Pritzker will not get rid of school mandates despite protests.
That's right, y'all. It's my children. They're my responsibility to teach. We're out here now to get the masks off.
New York's governor is expected to announce an end to indoor mask mandates today as well. NATO forces are hoping to encourage Russia not to invade Ukraine by holding war games in nearby Estonia. Pope Francis is weighing in. He's urging a diplomatic solution, calling war insanity. Hawaii Senator Mazie Hirono.
It is in some ways really difficult to predict what Putin mass over 100,000 troops. I don't know how he's supposed to walk that back.
There's been a last-minute delay in a medals ceremony at the Winter Olympics. CBS's Steve Futterman's in Beijing.
The IOC is saying very little. All it will confirm is that there's an issue involving the Russian figure skating team, which requires legal consultation. Nothing more than that. Now, there have been some reports suggesting it could involve a positive drug test. If the Russian team is disqualified, the U.S. squad, which finished second in the team competition, would get the gold medal.
Lawyers for Hertz will be in court today, and so will rental car customers like this one, pulled over at the airport in Colorado.
When they checked my passport, they're like, Mr. Caesar, are you aware that you have a warrant out for your arrest out of Georgia? And at first I thought they were joking.
He was arrested and spent the night in jail, even though he'd never been to Georgia. He's one of 230 people with claims pending in bankruptcy court, accusing Hertz of false arrest. European scientists in the quest to develop practical nuclear fusion energy. I'm Vicki Barker in London. That is the sound of a UK lab achieving nuclear fusion for 5 seconds, double the previous record, harnessing the energy of the stars to provide clean, limitless energy. That dreams just come one step closer to reality. The winningest woman on Jeopardy is making a new move.
Amy Schneider, congratulations. What a run.
Schneider, who took home almost $1.4 million during her 40-game streak last month, says she's quit her job as software engineer to pivot to public figure. The game show's first open has signed on with Hollywood management company CAA. This is CBS News.
Find your next great hire with Indeed. Our hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all life and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
It's totally constipated with belly pain, straining, and bloating again and again.
No way. You could have a chronic condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives to help relieve belly pain and let you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. Individual results may vary. Do not give to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor today. You may be able to save on Linzess and make fewer trips to the pharmacy. See if you're eligible to pay as little as $30 for 90 days. Visit linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
35 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. What are we doing to improve our schools? The question posed the State of Michigan Schools Roundtable, where leaders discuss the need for budget certainty from Lansing to prepare for the next school year and beyond. Wayne Ressa, Superintendent Dr. Davida Colbert, says wages are at the heart of improving conditions for teachers and students alike.
We're looking at the wages and making sure that teachers and all staff that are connected to the world of education have competitive wages so that they will aspire to be a part of the field. But as we are talking about the social and emotional well-being of our students, we must do the same for our.
She says every career in life comes through the educational system, so educators should not be
Hi,
demonized.
Lori.
Hi.
How are
Staff
you?
should be-
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for
If you're
being
an
with us. Is
African-American
Al, you going to
resident
join
in
us too?
Saginaw who has sought assistance through
As far as you know?
behavioral health services within the past 5 years. Women
Is
of color
Aliyah going to
wants
join us
hear from
also?
you.
As far as I know, yes. Yes, I just texted her to let her know I'm in.
$200,000 grant
Great.
program through the Michigan
All
Health
right.
Endowment
We'll be
Fund.
with you in a few
Saginaw
minutes, and
Women
I
of
turned
Colors
the
is aiming
video
to
off when
determine
we're
the
not
reasons
on.
for disparities in access to
Thanks.
behavioral health care services between African American residents and white residents. President Evelyn McGovern says the project will directly examine healthcare services associated with locals who have sought intervention and support substance use disorders, and mental health related issues. Participants can anonymously join the research in one of three ways: by completing a community survey, participating in a one-on-one interview, or joining part of a local listening group. McGovern says those eligible for the program will be compensated for their time. To see if you qualify, you can call the Women of Color's office at 989-399-8775, extension 5. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time is 10:07.
Did you know we lose up to 20% of our home's heat through windows and doors? Let the experts at Westside Decorating show you how to keep your home ventilating shades and draperies. This is Sonia. Call us today at 989-793-6182 for your in-home consultation. We'll bring samples to you or visit our showroom and see our new flooring and carpeting options. Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
WSGW News Time is 10:08. Huron County Sheriff Kelly Hansen says investigators have found a driver involved in a two-vehicle crash Monday afternoon who left the scene. The crash sent a 52-year-old woman from Cass City to the hospital with serious injuries. She was driving a pickup truck north on Elkton Road between McAlpin and Bach Roads when her truck was hit by a southbound white pickup with a yellow beacon on top pulling a piece of farm machinery, parts of which were found at the scene. Sheriff Hansen from Fostoria called Tuesday morning, concerned that he may have been the second driver, and that was confirmed after an interview with deputies. The crash is still under investigation. A heart-healthy diet may be beneficial in fighting COVID-19. Here's more from Dr. Deanna Lights at the Michigan News Network.
Being vaccinated and boosted is your best protection against COVID-19, but new research finds your diet may also play a role. Dr. Joan Crawford's a cardiologist with Ascension Macomb Hospital.
People that tend to be on the same types of diets that we recommend for heart disease to prevent it do help people do a little bit infected with COVID.
Heart-healthy foods include things such as fruits and vegetables, lean poultry, fish, and whole grains, while avoiding saturated and trans fats.
And that was Dr. Deanna Lights. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It is coming up on 10:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see a few spotty areas of rain and snow mixing here late today. Otherwise, cloudy skies with the temperatures holding rather steady. Winds out of the southwest around 10 to 15 miles, 25. And then for tonight, a slight chance for snow showers here, cloudy, a low near 26. By Thursday, mostly cloudy, high around 31 degrees. Then on Friday, a chance for some snow showers here, possibly mixing with the rain here late, cloudy and a high around 38. Saturday, partial sunshine develops, high of 17, and Sunday, partial sunshine will see high around 20. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 33.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you. Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW, coming to you from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. And our program brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call at 989-295-7713. Have her go to work for you. Or stop in and visit her at the Point, M46 and M47 in Saginaw Township. And inside there, you'll also find Cafe 476 with its delicious soups, foods, and beverages. Unless you live in a shell, you know that gambling is being highly promoted, I would say, right now, because here in Michigan and other states around the country, we now have online sports betting and online casinos. You can hold your smartphone in your hand and you don't have to go to a casino. But here in Michigan, if you choose to go to a casino, you're not more than probably 45 minutes away from one. How much is too much? And how is this affecting the population? And how much problem gambling is there? We're going to find out this morning, talking to a couple of very special guests. First of all, from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, where she specializes in gambling disorder prevention and treatment services, we say good morning to Aaliyah Lucas. Good morning, Aaliyah.
Good morning. How are you?
We're fine. And also with us this morning, Program Manager, Gambling Treatment Program for Health Management Systems of America, Lori Mello. Lori, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, okay, I have to ask, we are inundated here in Michigan. You can't, for example, watch television without seeing at least one, maybe two or three sports betting sites advertising in one break.
Right.
Yeah.
Are we so saturated with gambling now that there's no return?
That's a good question. What I will say is that there are definitely avenues that have created increased accessibility to gambling disorder. So it's more available now than I think it ever has been before, which means that it's available to more individuals than we might have thought about previously. So I think it's an absolute increase in the access, which means there's anticipated increase in the activity, and that thereby increases the need to make sure that we educate the Michigan public about the risk of the associated activity.
Yes.
Aaliyah, go ahead.
Yes, I think absolutely, Aaliyah is correct. This has become a full on saturation in terms of ads and some of the publicity that we are seeing. However, education is the key. People need to be aware of gambling, what's available out there, and when they're in trouble.
So let me ask both of you this. Have you seen an increase in problem gamblers realizing they have a problem and getting in touch with your organizations for help?
Now, what I like to say is that sports gambling and online gambling is new. Gambling disorder is not. So the services that we provide and the individuals that need help and need our services, that's still the case. But what I will say is we have noticed a slight increase in the number of treatment referrals that we've had from fiscal year 20 to fiscal year 21. And those treatment referrals increased by 104 cases. We also noticed an increase in the number of calls that come through the helpline, though it may not be for the reasons one may expect. A lot of the calls that we're receiving that are inquiries about the online gaming platforms are just that, inquiries about the online gaming platforms as far as their connections or their accounts. However, what it lets us know, what we're able to ascertain from those increased number of calls just from simply inquiring about the online gambling is letting us know there's increased activity. And that each of those callers, although they're just calling to inquire, we still treat those calls the same because they could still be a potential individual with potential gambling disorder. So we're still attempting to assess them, provide assessment and provide them with education about gambling disorder in the exact same manner as we would if somebody was specifically calling with the intent purpose of seeking help. Lori?
Yes, absolutely. The gambling disorder has always been there. The issue of problems with gambling and being addicted. However, some of the picture is changing a little bit as well. We're still getting the calls, but they are increasing for a variety of reasons.
A little story. Many years ago, for about 14 years, we had a tour company. And we had the contract to run service to Greektown Casino from our region and Lansing and some other places in the state. And we had gone down and talked to them, and they gave us percentages of how many people on the bus were addicted, how many were playing with gray area, and how many had more money than you ever thought they had. And I was pretty surprised. And I guess the question I have is, how do you define someone who is an addicted gambler versus that person, maybe they're playing with gray money they shouldn't be playing with, but they're playing. And then that person, that's their entertainment and they can afford it. What's the distinction?
Feel free, Lori.
Okay. The distinction really is you're looking at folks, if they are addicted, strongly addicted, who are playing, they begin playing alone. They're isolated. They're going either to the casino or they're playing online pretty much every single day. If you're talking about sports betting, they're not betting on one particular game. They're betting on every game, any game, and they are very interested in just the outcome of that game. This is a person who's addicted as well as starting to play with money that they can't afford to play with. So they are not paying their rent or their mortgage. They're not buying food, medications. These are folks who are consumed with the activity of gambling. It's not for fun anymore. This is not a social event, as opposed to having a little bit of money or a little bit of playtime, play money, and they're more social gamblers and they're going with friends and family.
Aaliyah, same thing?
I agree wholeheartedly with everything that, excuse me, that Lori said. As she indicated, when they're finding themselves gambling with money that's designated for other purposes, if they're finding themselves disenchanted with other areas of their life where they may find pleasure engaging with friends and social activities, and they're replacing those kind of activities with gambling, that's an indication that the gambling behavior has transitioned from just being recreational to more problematic, and it may be worth their while to seek assistance, or at least even just try to ask themselves some questions to do a little self-observation to determine if their gambling activity is becoming problematic.
All right, I would classify this, and I'm certainly not an expert, have no knowledge, but I would classify this in the same way that I might classify a mental health disorder.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We all know mental health has carried a huge stigma, and people don't like to come forward and admit they have a problem.
Exactly.
Is this also true with gambling in the same way that it might be true with drug addiction or alcohol addiction or any other kind of addiction? People don't want to come forward?
Yes, absolutely. And matter of fact, a little bit more so with the gambler, because gambling has become so normalized in our society. You hear this all the time where people say, oh, come on, just play with $100 or whatever. And then when you're done, you're done. Some folks can't do that. There are people who are predisposed, they're addicted, and they start to become very consumed. They become obsessive with this. And part of the issue with this is, the shame, the guilt. They've lost so much. They've lost maybe their home, their marriage, their children. Their very existence has changed considerably. So there's a lot of fear, and there's a lot of stigma surrounding coming out about their gambling addiction.
All right.
In addition to that,
go ahead, Aaliyah.
I'm sorry. In addition to that, I want to add something that Lori always says. When you think about it with gambling, there is oftentimes when people think about a person that has a gambling disorder, the common assumption is, oh, they lack self-control or their inability to control their impulses, which will cause an individual to attempt to cover their tracks even more, if you will, when it comes to gambling activity. I think that's one of the largest contributing factors to gambling disorder, more than any other addiction, having the largest or the highest number of intentional suicide as a result of the gambling activity, because there is no saturation rate, because of the stigma and association with it, and because of how deeply entrenched they become in the gambling activity and how it devastates their lives, and they don't see a way out. So in a lot of ways, I think it may be even worse than substance use disorder.
Yes.
So the suicide becomes the answer as opposed to seeking help.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
All right, hang on, both of you. We will be back with our guests, and we will also hear from Terry Henney at the end of this break coming up here on WSGW.
There's going to be one day this winter. The temperature will be 10 below. A 45-mile-an-hour wind with blinding snow is making it seem like 50 below. Is your garage door going to be ready for that day? Call M. M&R can service your existing garage door and opener, both residential and industrial. Or M&R can install a Clopay insulated garage door to keep your home warm. Make sure your garage door is ready for that day and every other day this winter. Call M&R Garage Door 894-0971, where service is their specialty.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of the John Deere 1025R compact tractor.
Shaw stands for skilled hands at work.
And he lives up to his versatile tractor to make
the earth take the shape that I wanted to take.
And the Allens fire up their John Deere 3032E compact tractor to grow about 9 acres of flowers. Because the beauty of having land is deciding how to make it yours. There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open higher, though investors are waiting for the latest update on inflation coming tomorrow. The Consumer Price Index is expected to show another increase. Yum Brands and drugstore chain CVS both reported upbeat earnings. Toyota and Honda are standing by their earnings forecast for this year, though both saw business slump in the fourth quarter because of ongoing chip shortages, and Toyota is lowering its production this year by 500,000 vehicles. Chipotle earnings topped forecasts, and it is expanding. Chipotle is planning many new locations in smaller markets. Lyft's quarter was better than expected, but Lyft has been seeing business impacted by the Omicron variant. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Inflation just broke a nearly 40-year record thanks to Biden's out-of-control spending, and every second you are losing more of your hard-earned savings. But you can fight back. With a gold IRA from Birch Gold, you can protect your retirement from this outright theft. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I'm one of the Birch Gold's many happy customers. To learn how to set up your own gold IRA, text the word SHELTER to 989898. Do it now, today. Text SHELTER to 989898.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to in contest with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hi, everyone. Broadcasting today from the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center, where today the Michigan Soybean Committee is conducting a meeting to inform crop producers about shortages in herbicides and provide some strategies for managing some weeds in 2022. We're not only talking the herbicides for the weeds, we're also talking pesticides. Many products that farmers have been accustomed to using year after year are either in short supply or not available this year. And this meeting today is designed to give producers an idea of what they can use. Our broadcast today is brought to you by the folks at Don Morris Seeds. If you're looking for reliability, you should be looking to Don. Can take care of you this spring for your planting and harvesting needs, whatever it might be. They specialize in the Pivot Bio, nitrogen's turning point. So for more information on that and more, just stop by the Research Center this morning or give Don or Allie a call. More reports coming up.
Check out the WSGW page on WSGW.com. Want to know when and which WSGW station you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football? Click on the sports broadcast box on WSGW.com.
And we are back with you here on WSGW. We are talking to Aaliyah Lucas. She is a program specialist with gambling disorder prevention and treatment from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. And Lori Mello, a program manager in gambling treatment program with Health Management Systems of America. I'm older than both of you, but I do remember the day when, if you wanted to gamble in this country, you either went to Las Vegas or you went to Atlantic City or you went to bet the ponies at the track. That was it. That was your choices. And undoubtedly, there were addicted people back then to that type of gambling.
Sure.
Now we pick up our cell phones. Have we created a whole new class of addiction?
I think that would be a good assumption. I think what we've done is, with this increased accessibility, we may have even introduced gambling to a whole demographic of the population that wasn't even considering gambling before. Not everyone is a fan of going to the casino or gets engulfed in card games or things of that nature, but the sheer accessibility on your cell phone, on your computer, if you will, I think increases the interest. The concern that we have is that when you think about online gambling and sports betting, think about online activity in general, online gaming, gambling, sports betting, and think about the demographic of the population that you might consider engaging in that type of activity specifically. In our discussions, Lori and I and our entire team, for us, as the landscape changes and we're looking at who engages in that activity, then we're looking at how does that change who we categorize as our typical target population for gambling. So typically we started at 21 as far as marketing and promoting information about gambling disorder in our program, and our standard gambler was between the ages of 21 to 49. We've reassessed and we're looking at the increased accessibility, and we're saying that, there's more youth that engage in activities online and gambling. And it may be it's definitely necessary to expand our target population to not just those 21 and above, but even younger, youth and young adult. We've created lanes where we're able to provide education and prevention information to that population of the public, mainly because in conversation with Lori, and Lori can expound further, and some of our other clinicians, what we're finding is that when people come into treatment, one of the things that they say is that they've been gambling since they were a child. So again, because gambling is socially accepted, it's a recreational norm, it's not problematic. And for children, when you think about it, especially children athletes, when you think about it, they're betting on who's going to win the playoff, who's going to win the next shot. Innocent childlike behavior, because there's nothing of consequence. But as they get older and as their interests increase, and they may continue the same activity, but then that transitions to behavior where now they have something of stake. And that's when gambling becomes problematic. So it absolutely has changed the lane in which how we're considering delivery of services, who we send our messaging to as far as promoting education, how we increase awareness. We're targeting parents. We're targeting young adults. We're providing information about the corroboration between gaming and gambling, because the gaming concept, it establishes and ingrains the pay for play concept. And there's but a hairline split between gaming and gambling. So we're actually changing our whole process of how we promote the program and even who we avail our services to. In times past, it was just adults. We've actually changed that here recently. If I'm not mistaken, Lori, we have one of our clinicians that has actually had a youth client.
Oh, yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right on, Aaliyah. It goes across the board, the number of people who we are availing our services to. It's great to have the youth component. Understand, youth have been gambling for a long, long time. They were gambling way before we had online gambling, even dice games, other kind of games. Yeah. Even before online, and they were trading up maybe their expensive jacket, for example, or something of value. Yeah, something of substance. And the idea that we've got the youth on board and we're aware of this is phenomenal. Because
it seems to me there's a double-edged sword for the youth here coming forward, because not only might they be getting addicted, they're also doing it illegally, technically.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Absolutely. And that's a big thing. And then the idea that, the stigma is really there amongst their peers. They're doing this for a number of reasons. And as Aaliyah said, it all starts very innocently, and it's so insidious. It just builds and builds to the point where they're now owing money, and it may be on mom and dad's credit card. Then they have access to some of those things, and it goes all the way. I mean, we have youth who are gambling more online, all the way to senior citizens who are still going to some of those casinos, and they're marketing very heavily to those senior citizens as well, and everybody in between.
And if I could add one more thing too, what these changes are also doing, it's causing us to reflect and look at differently how we're delivering services. If we're talking about the impact of these increased avenues to gambling is changing the landscape as far as who our target population are, and with them being younger, then we have to also be in tune with how we provide service delivery and how we provide assistance. So in addition to our helpline that we have for individuals that are looking for gambling disorder treatment services or help or awareness, we're also going to be including text and chat services, because why? The younger generations are not calling in, and there's more anonymity. Some people feel there's more anonymity in sitting and texting as opposed to picking up a phone. So what we're trying to do is eliminate the barriers and make everything as easy as possible for anyone that's looking to get help all across the variants of individuals that we're reaching.
All right, so let's talk about that. I think it's a perfect lead-in. If someone is having an issue, now a lot of times in addiction, it's often said you have to bottom out before you seek help, and that may be true. Is it true in gambling? I don't know. It may be true in gambling, but if someone has reached that point, what should they do?
Laura?
If someone has reached the point where they are feeling as if I've got nowhere to turn, this is when they need to either call our helpline, or we are setting up to text or chat on our helpline to reach out to us. There's no judgment here. We want to have that conversation with you. We want to provide you with resources, counseling that is available to fit exactly what's going on with you. And we have other resources we can refer to as well. People call us, or, they get in contact with us and they're in great desperation. Before that happens, if you're not sure, call us, let us know what's going on with you. Sometimes people just ask the question, do you feel that do I have an addiction to gambling? And we have assessments we can do to help them to determine if it's a serious or severe gambling addiction as well. We can provide hope. That's the main thing.
And we don't have a one-size-fits-all approach to the services and the help that we provide. Every individual that comes to us is not going to be ready and prepared to just abstain from gambling immediately in that moment. There may be some who feel as though the initial approach of harm reduction may be best suited for them until time passes and they realize potentially that maybe they need to just quit altogether. We reach the clients where they are. We offer them the services that we feel as though will best assist them in transitioning their problematic activity into something they can better maintain, or something that they can turn around completely.
All right, so the key question, how do they get a hold of you?
If you feel as though you have a gambling disorder issue or a problem with gambling, or you have questions about gambling disorder, we have a toll-free helpline. That telephone number is 1-800-270-7117. We also have a web page with a host of information available. There's also a self-analysis quiz on that web page. You can ask yourself those questions to see if maybe you need to seek out further assistance for gambling disorder. That's michigan.gov/problem gambling.
And Lori, they get a hold of you same way?
Same way. They can certainly reach me through the helpline as well. If they have specific questions for me, they can certainly reach me through there. We want people to call 1-800-270-7117.
Is there any cost involved in the consultations, the treatment program? And if so, does health insurance look at it as a mental illness? Will they cover it, or won't they?
So there are some health insurance policies and plans that will provide coverage that will pay for gambling disorder treatment services. And if an individual calls through the helpline and they do have an insurance plan that will provide that benefit, then we will associate them with a clinician that participates with their insurance to provide those services. However, the services that we provide are for those that are unable to acquire treatment services through any other means, and they're free. You receive up to 12 sessions of treatment with a master's level trained clinician, and they're going to create a recovery plan and help you from beginning to end.
Is there data to show how well it works?
What we have right now is what we do is called monthly data reports, and we're able to track information in regards to when a person is admitted to treatment, and then we have a report of discharge summaries to let us know how they conclude their treatment services. One of the things that we're newly implementing in a way to better ascertain how effective our services are, as well as being able to better record what our recovery community looks like, is we have a satisfaction survey, if you will, where we follow up with our clients 30, 60, 90 days, a year beyond the conclusion of treatment to follow up, just to see how they're doing, to see if they need additional help, to find out if they're needing any additional resources. And we're just in the beginning stages, unfortunately, of trying to gather and collect that information.
Well, we'll have to do this again down the road and see how well you're doing with it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Aaliyah, I want to thank you very much for
Thank
being
you.
with us today. And Lori, same to you.
Thank you.
Let's talk again down the road.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Art.
Bye-bye. Have a
Bye.
great day.
You
Bye-bye
too.
now.
Bye.
And we thank our guest this morning, Aaliyah Lucas. She is program manager for gambling treatment programs with the health management. I'm sorry, as Lori Mello, program manager, gambling treatment program for Health Management Systems of America. And Aaliyah Lucas is a gambling disorder prevention and treatment services specialist with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. We'll take a break. The rest of the hour will be spent with open phones. If you have something you want to chat about, give us a call. We'll talk to you then.
Steve Martin and Martin Short. You won't believe what they look like today. Live May 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
When Marty and I fly together, we save a lot of money because Marty fits conveniently in the overhead bin.
Tickets start at $62 and on sale Friday, 10 a.m. at the box offices or online at etix.com.
You look like Anderson Cooper froze to death on New Year's Eve.
Party and play with your two favorite amigos, Steve Martin and Martin Short. Friday, May 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Now an important message from Exocrine. A critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. New COVID strands are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exocrine because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exocrine. Learn more at exocrine.com.
Hey team, it's a full house. We got to pick up the pace.
At Hank's Restaurant, the line goes around the block.
Is this for 12? Okay, I need the oil drizzle.
What he needs is another line cook.
Oh man, are the quail breasts still in the sous vide? Dave, can you keep an eye on that, please?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine Pancreatic Insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Broadcasting from the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, 100.5 and 790 Wsgw.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, and we thank our guests, Aaliyah and Lori, for joining us. It is, it's a forefront issue today. You can't do anything or go anywhere without seeing or hearing about the availability of gambling in one form or another, and the help is there, so don't be afraid to use it. That's the important thing. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour right up through 11 o'clock. But let me ask you how you slept last night, because, you know, in today's world, when we're asked to do more for less, it's really important that you spend a third of your life and you get a quality sleep in bed. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. By the way, they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress. Our number is 989-752-6111 from wherever you are. Most companies don't charge you long distance and roaming anymore. So again, the number 989-752-6111. Talked a little bit about the new Postal Reform Act moving through the Congress, and hopefully it will be approved and solidify one of the most wonderful services we have in this country, getting our mail. Here is something else that we need to work on, or at least, you know, be prepared for it. Apparently, there is a lot of tax season anxiety. Even the pros want some relief from it. Apparently, the Internal Revenue Service has a huge backlog of unfinished tax returns from last year. You heard me, from last year, leave alone this year. So, first and foremost, if you want to get in and get your refund, if you have a refund coming, do not file a paper return. Do it electronically. Now, I have to tell you, I did my taxes already, and I already, today, as a matter of fact, received a refund. It did not take long, took less than 2 weeks. So that is the way to go if you can do it, or if you have a preparer who will do that for you. Submit your tax forms electronically. And if you don't, in terms of a refund, don't expect it quickly. Now, if you're paying because you owe taxes, that's a whole different story. You can submit it any way you want. As long as your payment comes with it, they don't care. But just remember that if you do submit it on paper, it's going to be stacked up in the IRS because they are having problems staffing, COVID, what have you. And it's just it's one of those things today. A refund, do it electronically, you get it quicker. All right. We're going to take a break. We come back. I want to go back to betting for a minute because there's a story here about how many Americans are going to be betting on the Super Bowl. It's amazing. We will take a break. Also, at the end of this break, when we come back, we will hear from Terry Henney, who is out and about.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals going on right now from Nom Nom Ninja, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? You bet. That's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again. Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill. I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to...
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GEAR for 25 cents a gallon or more cash back on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code GEAR to earn 25 cents a gallon or more on your first tank. That's code GEAR.
On our first date, we had masks on and kept 6 feet apart. Now, we're a lot closer.
Just like Cliff and Deb, thousands of singles over 50 found their perfect match on Silver Singles last year.
I feel like I'm 20 years old again, and I'm pretty sure she feels the same way.
Rediscover the magic of dating with Silver Singles, the exclusive community for singles over 50. Sign up today and receive daily matches you won't want to miss at silversingles.com/radio. Silversingles.com.
We're broadcasting this morning from the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center on Reese Road in the Frankenmuth-Richville area, where today the Michigan Soybean Committee is conducting a meeting to talk about herbicide shortages and pesticide shortages and to provide some strategies for managing weeds and pests this year. Christy Sprague, MSU Extension Weed Management Specialist, is providing specific recommendations for managing weeds in soybeans given the projected herbicide shortages. This meeting is, pretty much a full house here at the Saginaw Valley Research Extension Center. We're going to have the opportunity to talk to some of the folks once they get off the stage. Everything started at 8 o'clock this morning, and it'll run until 11. Our broadcast brought to you by the folks at Don Morris Seeds. Don and Allie are ready to take care of whatever you need this spring, including Pivot Bio, which is nitrogen's turning point. Turn to a better nitrogen by turning to Pivot Bio. For more information on that, just contact Don or Allie, Don Morris Seeds. More reports next hour.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll about online gaming in Michigan. In January, the Michigan Gaming Control Board released information that shows the state did generate $1.4 billion in online gaming for 2021, the first year this type of gaming was allowed. That covers the internet, casinos, poker, sports betting. In fact, Michigan was the first state to achieve revenue of at least $1 billion in its first year of offering online gaming. Over $200 million was paid in taxes and fees to the state. Poll question is, what is your experience with online gaming in Michigan? Do you play on a regular basis? Do you play every so often? Do you rarely play, or have you never played and don't intend to? Your online gaming experience. We want to know. When you vote in the WSW online poll box, go to the homepage of WS and a poll box there. And thank you for making your vote.
I guess I'd have to say I'm on there a lot since I bet 50 cents here, 50 cents there, $1 there.
Does that count as playing?
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you, and that leads into what I want to talk about. But before I do that, got an email from Jerry. We had talked earlier about the electric car that the door locked and she couldn't get out and had to crawl out through the trunk. Apparently, unbeknownst to her, and certainly to me, there is a manual release built into the Cadillac XLR and whatever other car she was in. The one I saw a picture of is down on the floor sill near the door. So you'd have to look down on the floor, and there is a release latch, which would unlock the door if the battery went dead. So the manufacturers are ahead of the game. They did think of it. It's just not well known. So there you are. They're doing it. And as we heard on the previously, I had another caller who said that the Mustang electric car, the E-Mustang, whatever they call it, has a separate battery for the door locks. So there you go. All right. You heard the promo. They were talking about the Super Bowl and gambling. There is a story. They are estimating that 31.5 million Americans plan to bet on this year's Super Bowl. That's according to estimates released Tuesday by the Gambling Industry's National Trade Group. They expect that over $7.6 billion will be waged on pro football's championship game. Now, I wonder if that includes people that bet on sports boards at their work or their friends, what have you. I am not surprised at the number because of the amount of online gambling that's now available. No two ways about that. I mean, you don't have to go far. All you have to do is pick up your cell phone and make a bet. So the fact that 31.5 million Americans are going to spend $7.6 billion, wow, that's a lot of money. Now, I think we have to separate it into various categories. There's the first major category of those people that's their entertainment. And rather than spend $10 at a movie, they'll spend $10 gambling. Well and good. If they can afford it, not a problem. Then there are those people who play with what's called gray money. They don't have a lot of money. The money they're playing with is cushion money they should be keeping for emergencies. But they're not taking it out of their rent or their food or anything of that nature. That's that category. Then there's the addicted gambler who's playing with whatever they've got, whether they can afford it or not. They play with their rent money. They play with their health money. They play with you name it. And they're the ones that are really seriously in trouble. The horse is out of the barn, the door's closed, gambling isn't going back. We're not going back to the old days of you got to go to Vegas or Atlantic City. That's not going to happen. Question is there going to be a limit, and what that limit is and how do we get to it? I don't have the answer. I don't. Al is in Midland. Al, good morning.
Good morning, sir, and thank you for inviting me into the talk discussion.
Yep.
Hey, the only time I've ever gambled is one of the casino nights that the Midland JCs did, fundraiser, charity fundraiser. And I don't know if I ever could be addicted to it or not. I never got that far into it. It's not that exciting for me. I'd rather put my money into other things that I enjoy. So
well, and you wouldn't be addicted to it.
That's my view. Hey, on the electric cars with getting trapped in the vehicles and things, some of these things are hidden. By the time we find them, we're panicked, and we don't know where to look for it.
That's the story that Jerry sent me in the email was a guy that was exactly that way. He did not know that there was a floor release. He panicked. He was screaming. He was kicking the doors. He passed out because he had no idea. Now, I think somewhere in the car, well displayed, maybe even up on the visor, should be a note that says, in case of emergency, door release is located.
Right. But we have to take time to read that.
Yeah,
and
well,
how many times do we read all the fine print?
That's true, but if it's right in front of you.
There's a lot of stuff to read.
Yeah, but if it's right in front of you,
I know.
If it's right in front of you and you're in that situation, you might be tempted to look for it. Let's face it.
Possible, but there have been people that have died because they panicked and they have not been able to figure out how to get out. So it is one of those things that, you can be cute by 2.5 or whatever to make things kind of cute and hide them and all that kind of stuff. These engineers, my dad was an engineer, so I know about that stuff. They like to do cute things and they think it's a wonderful life. Sometimes it catches up with people. So engineers are smart people, but sometimes they just try to do things in a...
They outsmart themselves.
I call it a cute way.
Well, there's a funny story about engineers versus technicians. Two different categories. The old story dealing with electronics, for example, if you took a television set, for example, to a technician. They would look at the set, see what it's doing in their mind, diagnose the problem, check a few circuits, find the problem, and fix it. If you took it to an engineer, they would reverse unmanufacture it piece by piece till they got to the problem. So,
right. Yeah, I know you exactly where you're going with
Yeah.
that.
All right.
My dad was very mechanically inclined and a very good electrical type engineer, even
Good
though
deal.
that wasn't his field, but
Yeah.
he was into the tech stuff.
All right,
like
Al,
you
I
are.
got to interrupt you because I got to go. I'm out of time here. We'll talk again.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir, and have
You
a
bet.
nice day.
Bye-bye now, and we'll be back with more.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches,
Hey.
feeding them through a wood chipper,
My branches! My beautiful branches!
and dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Wsgw Morning Team Show.
Once again, the amusing stories are coming out, having jokes about this for a number of Olympiads now. The official message from Beijing is for athletes to maintain social distance, at least 2 meters from fellow competitors. Avoid physical interactions, such as handshakes, high fives, and hugs. And by the way, here's some free condoms for you.
Now that's a mixed message.
With masks?
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Fauci, what would you do with that?
Yeah, right.
It mentions the last Olympic Games last year in 50,000 condoms were given out, but because of social restrictions at that time, athletes were told to take them home. Hey, I didn't get a medal. I got a condom.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Art Lewis Show. We thank you much for joining us, as always. Coming up on Focus, we're going to focus on an event coming up in Saginaw, the Outhouse Races. Yep, they're returning. Tell you more about that after the news from CBS and the local report. Then we will be back in just a few minutes. Talk to you then.
From the premier kitchen and bath, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. No end in sight to the turmoil north of the border caused by truckers opposed to a COVID vaccine mandate. CBS's Janet Shamlian says it's beginning to disrupt trade with the U.S.
As downtown Ottawa remains paralyzed,
we're going to sit here as long as it takes.
The city's mayor says he needs another 1,800 police officers.
We are turning up the heat in every way we possibly can.
As support from anti-vaccine and far-right groups around the world is growing, the costs are mounting.
Illinois and New York are set to become the next states to act on mask mandates. The end is near for those affecting businesses and most indoor public places in New York City.
Personally, I would keep my mask on. There's all these sorts of different variants still, emerging.
A New York school mandate is set to expire in 2 weeks. Not clear if that will happen. Massachusetts will allow one to expire at the end of the month. A second man formally pleaded guilty today in the alleged plot to kidnap Michigan's Democratic governor. The move trial. CBS's Stacey Lynn tells us leaked documents reveal troubling findings about a group that's been tracked by civil rights organizations.
Nearly 1 in 5 applicants to the white supremacist group Patriot Front claim they either were or still are a member of the U.S. military. One who claimed to be a former Marine even said he currently works for the Department of Homeland Security. Patriot Front is one of the most prominent white supremacist groups in the country.
Out of Beijing, 2 Americans were in the spotlight today at the Winter Games.
Agony and ecstasy for the U.S. Olympic team today. The agony once again for skier Michaela Schifrin. For a second time here in Beijing, she missed the gate and was eliminated from competition.
Just pretty low right now.
The ecstasy for snowboarder Lindsay Jacobellis, until today most famous for losing the gold medal in 2006. Today at 36, she won the event and became an Olympic champion.
Don't count the little girl out.
And she becomes the oldest American woman to win. Steve Futterman, CBS News at the Winter Olympics in Beijing.
In Detroit, Jeff Gilbert of affiliate WWJ reports on a new auto recall.
27,000 Teslas are being recalled because of an issue that could cause the windshields to fog up. Nobody's been hurt, but there have been a number of consumer complaints. The recall involves certain vehicles from the entire Tesla lineup, ranging from the 2020 through 2022 model years.
2 Democratic senators are calling for a suspension of the federal gas tax for the rest of the year because of rising pump prices. And right now on Wall Street, the Dow is up 329 points. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
Sticks, Saturday, Eagle Casino and Resort. Born in Chicago, raised on rock and roll. Tommy Shaw and Styx. Tickets start at $44 and on sale now at the Soaring Eagle and Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com. Styx, playing all the hits. Saturday, March 19th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Get your rock on. Party and play with Styx at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Styx, Saturday, March 19th at Soaring Eagle Casino. Tickets on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey.
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its
Hey, Brian, we'll be with you in a few minutes.
Start for
Sounds
free.
good, Art. Thanks so much.
All righty.
TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Live the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
105 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Lynn Williams. The parents of accused Oxford High School shooter Ethan Crumbley were in court for a hearing yesterday, and new information about what led up to the shooting is coming to light.
After 8 hours of testimony from 5 witnesses, the preliminary exam hearing for James and Jennifer Crumbley in district court was adjourned until the 24th of February. Submitted into evidence by Oakland County prosecutors was a voice message to Jennifer Crumbley on November 29th, the day before the shootings, from Oxford High School counselor Pam Fine, detailing a teacher's concern that Ethan Crumbley was searching online for ammunition while in the classroom.
We had a conversation. He was great. He's like, yep, I get it. So I just wanted to let you know that we did have that conversation with him, and
next day, the Crumbleys were called into a school meeting with their son and school officials before the shootings began. Another witness who works with Jennifer Crumbley says she told her she should have brought Ethan home. The Crumbleys face 4 counts each of involuntary manslaughter.
Economists say the cost of just 2 days of U.S.-Canada trade being halted at the border is $101 million. Wayne State economic professor Dr. Michael Belzer conducted an economic analysis of border crossing delays following the September 11th terror attacks and says in 2022, with the pandemic and supply chain issues, the long-term effects from the Ambassador Bridge closure could be economically catastrophic.
20 years ago, I think I would have answered that we'll get ourselves back in order in 2 or 3 weeks. Now I don't know how long that will take. So this is a pretty major national security threat to the United States as well as.
Belzer says if the Canadian government does not shut down the protests now and the other border crossings are disrupted, the cost is incalculable. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Defend your acres from broadleaf weeds and grasses with Empirus, a groundbreaking line of corn herbicides from Helena. Empirus herbicides protect young corn with powerful knockdown and consistent residual control. With exclusive 2- and 3-way combinations, Empirus herbicides broaden your control and empower you with application flexibility. It's your field. Beat back intruding forces and improve early corn growth with Empirus herbicides. Always follow label instructions and check registration. And a representative to learn more.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, managing your medications from home is simple. With our easy-to-use prescription drug plans, you can get the medicine your doctor prescribes from your local pharmacy or even delivered by mail. For the trusted care you need and want, Blue Cross will be here with more convenient ways of getting it. Like we've been for more than 80 years. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. Some areas of the country are lifting school mask mandates. Michigan doesn't, but some counties do, and they're keeping things status quo. Here's more from Dr. Deanna Lights.
There's been a decline in COVID-19 cases in Washtenaw County, but the mask mandate will stay in place. The health department is watching things carefully and reviewing the data. The mask mandate will also remain for students and staff in all K through 12 schools in Oakland County, regardless of vaccination status. Bill Mullen, a spokesperson for Oakland County Health Division, says in a county where vaccination rates among school-aged children remain lower than other residents, not wearing masks in the classroom would place students and staff at greater risk of quarantines and make it more difficult for administrators to keep our schools open.
And that was Dr. Deanna Lights. Snow Blarney, Bay City's St. Patrick's Day Parade is back. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
Sponsored in part by Consumers Energy, McLaren Health, and Doubletree by Hilton, events start as soon as February 20th with the St. Patrick's Day Parade pageant, and March 7th with a city proclamation by Mayor Kathleen Newsham. March 19th, the night before the parade, St. Jude Thaddeus at 614 Pine Street, formerly the St. John's Church, will gather this year's parade marshal, Robert Shea, and the pageant Queen's Court to hold mass honoring St. Patrick and Irish history. Bay City's parade, now in its 67th year, began as a celebration for the Irish and Irish at heart with an estimated attendance of 10,000 people. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ian Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see a few spotty areas of rain and snow mixing here late today. Otherwise, cloudy skies with the temperatures holding rather steady. Winds out of the southwest around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. And then for tonight, a slight chance for snow showers here, cloudy, a low near 26. By Thursday, mostly breeze. And on Friday, a chance for some snow showers here, possibly mixing with rain here late, cloudy and a high around 38. Saturday, partial sunshine develops, high of 17. And Sunday, partial sunshine will see high around 20. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vuchitsky with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 35.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio W. and online, wsgw.com.
And a good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW. I'm Art Lewis, coming to you from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. And our program brought to you by Roof Max, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about Roof Max online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's Roof Max with 2 X's. Well, returning for another year, a very exciting event, a most unusual event to say the least. We're going to find out about it this morning because it's coming to Saginaw, and I think this is we'll find out how many it's been, but we're going to talk to Brian Leckel this morning about the outhouse races in Saginaw. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Art. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, I know you do a lot of things in your life. I didn't realize outhouse racing was one of your priorities.
Perhaps the most prestigious event in Saginaw. I mean, Chairman's Ball, fundraising galas. No, the outhouse races.
The outhouse races. How many have there been?
This is going to be our 8th annual. So we've had 7. The 8th annual outhouse race this Saturday down at Hoyt Park in Saginaw.
This is sort of, how would I describe it? I got a replacement for what back in the 70s and 80s there was it outhouses on the
river raft racing?
River raft, river raft racing, yeah. And there were all kinds of them. So that event went away, and along comes outhouse racing. Describe this to us.
Sure. So just as silly as it seems, groups, organizations, businesses, groups of friends started a few weeks ago, some a few days ago, by constructing an outhouse. It has to have specific dimensions, needs to be at least 6 foot tall, has to have a toilet seat and a roll of toilet paper. And then essentially one rider sits on that toilet seat.
And have somebody sitting on it, right?
Yep.
You have to have a
and
rider.
Up to 4 individuals push or pull this outhouse down a track. We do some time trials and we determine the fastest, top 4. And then we do kind of race-offs from there, or head-to-head competitions from there.
So as I understand it, these outhouses have to have skis.
That's correct.
Do you put it on the frozen river, or where is this track? Where do you do it?
We are down actually in the lower bowl of Hoyt Park, kind of on the north end of the park, just adjacent to the large ice rink that's down there. And, through our 8 years, in the middle of February, we've had, the first year it was like wind chill below 0. We've had 55 degrees where folks were golfing after it. So the skis help slide on any condition, including turf grass. But we're fortunate to have some snow down there this year.
So what time are these races? When can people watch them?
Yep, we will have a heated beverage tent down there, and that will be open 12:30, and then the races kick off at 1 p.m. Again, we start with time trials, and then the head-to-head competitions are immediately following time trials. So usually about 90 minutes, but 1 o'clock, again, 1 o'clock down at Hoyt Park is when the races start, and then we'll probably be wrapped up by about 2:30 if I had to guess.
So how many teams, and can a team still register?
Yeah, we have about 10 entries so far. And yes, registration is still open. If there's individuals that are interested and think they can get something together before tomorrow, they could come down to Hoyt. We're opening registration at noon. I mentioned the heated tent out there. But really, of course, teams are welcome. But this is a fantastic spectator event as well. It's worth coming down to take a look at it for sure.
Cheer on your favorite outhouse. So, since it's a competition, there must be prizes.
Yes, absolutely. We have, cash prizes.
Cash?
We do give away some cash prizes, $300 for first, $150 for second, third is $50. Of course, a case of toilet paper for each winner as well, for the, to fit the theme, I should say. Also, your friends at the Saginaw Spirit have given us a nice one of their kind of sweet packages down in the corner by the ice. So the best in show, best decorated outhouse will win that nice night out at the Spirit. And yeah, we have a crazy hat competition for a Visa gift card and some other silly stuff for the spectators that are down there too.
I got to talk to Goslin, because what they need to do, whoever wins that award needs to bring that outhouse down there and we'll parade it around the ice.
You know, they did a great job, the Saginaw Spirit. They used to enter annually, and the first outhouse they built, you had mentioned the skis, they didn't put it on skis. They put it on 2x6s with rubber runners on the bottom. The thing weighed like 300 pounds, and it was all they could do to even move it, get it off the truck, let alone down the track.
Funny. All right, we'll talk more about it. We're talking to Brian Leckel, and we will return with more. We'll also hear from Terry Henney right after these notes.
For almost 20 years, Line-X has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Line-X have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because they're rust-proofing, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Line-X is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
RocketGrabPlus.com. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, this week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is a perfect gift for you and that special someone. It's for the Salt Room and Wellness Spa in Saginaw. You are going to get one salt room session for two at the Salt Room and Wellness Spa for only $45. Each salt therapy session lasts 45 minutes. Salt therapy boosts immune system and is 100% antibacterial. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Would like you to know about an important new study by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has always known. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate, and they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exocrine thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exocrine. Learn more at Exocrine.com.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
We've been broadcasting this morning from the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center, where growers have been told about several global factors that are reducing the availability of many commonly applied herbicides and pesticides, and what effect it's going to have on the planting and harvesting season in 2022. It's a critical issue involving weed control, essential for profitable crop production. So the folks from the Michigan Soybean Committee have put this meeting on today at the Research Center, and we'll be talking a little bit more about it during the farm program. Our broadcast today has been brought to you by the folks at Don Morris Seeds. Don and Allie are ready to take care of you, whatever you need this. Also, they want to talk to you about Pivot Bio, which is nitrogen's turning point. Turn that nitrogen into a product that stays put, a predictable source of nitrogen, Pivot Bio. So get more information by contacting Don or Allie today. Farm Show coming up in just a little bit.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the midden.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, Wsgw. You are in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you. We're talking to Brian Leckel about what's coming up in Saginaw this week. We should probably mention the fact it's this Saturday, right?
Yes, sir. Saturday, February 12th.
The outhouse races. So paint us a picture of how this works. Is it one outhouse at a time down the track for time, or do they race each other all at once?
Yeah. A great question. So we start off with a roughly 60-yard track, and they do race individually first. So similar to the Olympics, right? We do time trials first. We determine our top four, and then we do kind of a playoff head-to-head competition from there. So it's a pretty exciting finish when we get them head-to-head. And we've had some photo finishes through the years. Some real close races for sure.
Yes, paper thin. It's just the concept is so cute and funny. It's just
kind of one of the neatest parts. And this is Positive Results Downtown, Pride in Saginaw, puts on a lot of really fantastic events, Friday Night Lives, concerts, parades, all sorts of things. And then here's this kind of silly one we threw into the mix. But like many things, the Saginaw community and businesses and organizations embraced it. And it's something unique to this area. You see them, maybe in some Upper Peninsula towns and things like that. But we're excited to have one downstate and one that's been pretty successful.
So you only do it once a year.
That's correct. Yep. And again, this Saturday down at Hoyt Park in Saginaw, which is also Saturday is the last Bringing Back the Ice event, the skating and sled rentals down there from noon to 4. So you can bring the family down and do some skating and sledding either before or after while the outhouse races are going on down there.
And you can rent skates, and there's a beverage thing, and all kinds of good stuff down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been well used, hasn't it?
Yeah, Hoyt Park's a gem in the community, no doubt, all year round. We're playing baseball and softball and having tournaments there in the summer, and then one of the biggest skating rinks in the state in the winter time. So fortunate to have that back in our community for sure.
All right, so if an organization or a group of guys or gals want to enter, it's not too late. How do they do that?
Sure. They could give the Positive Results Downtown. They could give us a call, our office, or the Saginaw Outhouse Race itself has a Facebook page. You could shoot us a message on there. Or again, you could just show up Saturday at noon is when registration opens. And the races will begin at 1 p.m. So any one of those options would work. But if folks have questions, giving us a call or a message on social media there would be a great way to get a hold of us.
Is there a cost to enter?
No cost to enter this year. We removed the entry fee, which we've had in the past, just because we did not have the event last year due to COVID, and so we are excited to have it back, and we dropped the entry fee this year. So free to enter, and free for spectators, of course, too.
The prize money comes from.
We do have some event sponsors, some past supporters and great folks that, like I said, businesses and organizations that have kind of leaned in to make this a fun winter day down there.
And who's responsible for buying the toilet paper?
Yeah. We've got a few. And that was actually, one of the first things. We had golden plungers one year that we gave away. And so, I think maybe this might be you and the studio team could get one together for next year. You could just be the rider even.
Well, now wait now. We'll work on it. We'll let you know. That's not a bad idea, actually. It sounds like a fun thing.
It is definitely a fun day down there.
Well, let's remind everybody again, it's this Saturday at Hoyt Park. 1 o'clock are the races, 12 o'clock registration. And the ice opens up at noon also. So if you want to ice skate, you can come on down and watch the races and ice skate some more.
Yep. And again, the warming house will be open during that skating time. We also have a heated beverage tent down by the outhouse races, which will be on kind of the north end of Hoyt Park there. But Absolutely. This Saturday, Hoyt Park in Saginaw is the place to be.
Sounds like it, Brian. Thanks a lot. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye
Take care.
now. Brian Leckel, Pride positive results in a downtown environment, and the outhouse races this Saturday. Sounds like a lot of fun, actually. We'll take our last break, and then we will come back and find out what's happening in the marketplace.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money.